Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. You are watching YouTube and Facebook channels of Professor Dr. Rizwan Jamil Qureshi. Welcome to the lecture number 22 of Software Economics course. The topic of today's coverage is main strategies to manage risk. There are two main strategies to handle or manage the risk. We have reactive strategy, we have proactive strategy. Reactive strategy is also called unplanned strategy or firefighting strategy, whereas proactive strategy is called planned strategy or intelligent strategy. So, reactive strategy is applied for unknown risk, for uncertain risk, whereas proactive strategy is applied for known risk, certain risk that we are sure they will happen, like budget, schedule. So, reactive strategy, when there is a risk, will try to react. Like firefighters, when there is a fire, then they will activate and they will go to the site to stop the fire. Similarly, the team will react when there is a risk, like bugs. If there is a bug or error, then we will react to have a strategy to manage the risk. And the proactive is the plan. We make a plan for that and we act according to our plan. We monitor the risk. If the risk is happening, we will implement the plan. Reactive strategy is used when you take some action when some incident or accident happens, such as budget, schedule, people risk. When there is a risk, then you will act, you will react. Like team member suddenly left, then you will take the reactive strategy. The proactive strategy is the planned strategy to handle the risk. We estimate all possible risks, we make a plan, we monitor them. The objective is to reduce the loss, reduce the damage. We cannot avoid 100% risk, but we can reduce. Like for example, in the car, the airbag will not stop 100% the damage, will not protect you 100%, but it will reduce the shock, it will reduce the effect of accident. So that is the proactive strategy in the car. So we have safety system in the car, or we have safety system in the plane or in vehicle. So proactive strategy is also called intelligent strategy. Risk management strategies we will discuss with respect to types of risk. Like we have project risk, budget, schedule, resources, team size, the team members are leaving, changing requirements, increasing size of the software, which will result in increase in complexity. So how to deal with them? So we will discuss them one by one by using the reactive strategy and proactive strategy. Let's start with the budget and schedule. We have budget and schedule risk. In case of reactive strategy, that we did not take corrective action when the budget and schedule risks were happening at the earliest stages of the project. So at the last stage, when there is a difference in the planned budget and the actual budget, planned schedule and the actual schedule, so we can request the customer to deliver core functionalities within the agreed schedule, agreed budget, and extra functionalities later on in terms of update and upgrades. Or we can offer 6 month or 1 year free maintenance contract to the customer to avoid the risk, to handle the risk. So that's the reactive strategy in case of budget and schedule risk. Proactive, the planned strategy, measure the velocity of the project after each release using scheduling techniques like we have earned value analysis to take corrective action to bridge the gap between the planned budget and the actual budget, planned schedule and the actual schedule. In case of agile development, you committed to the customer to deliver releases after every 2 weeks as per the contract. So you deliver, for example, first release in 3 weeks. So instead of 2 weeks, so you are late because you have less knowledge, less information about the project, and the knowledge value is less. So business value is also less. So what you do, you deliver the second release and third release in 1.5 weeks time to bridge the gap to manage the risk. So that's a proactive strategy for budget and the schedule risk. Then reactive strategy to deal with the team members leaving. So team members leaving, like team member resign. So you have to call him and to find the cause of leaving, like less salary, designation issue, promotion issue, humiliating boss is not friendly, he abused the team members, duty timing, the working time is like odd, like in the night time, so social life, family life are disturbing. So you have to call him and find the cause of leaving and try to avoid it. And the second option, you have cross-functional team. So if one team member leave, then the other team members can play the role of the leaving team member. Risk of project manager resign. So then you promote the junior project manager to senior project manager to avoid the risk, and ask the senior project manager to train the junior project manager. Like 3 month notice is there for the senior positions. Like I remember the case of IT24. They have project manager, his name is Mr. Kassar Abbas. So he has resigned. He had resigned in 2008. So the top management chief executive asked him that you have to train the junior project manager. So they promote the junior project manager to senior project manager and ask Mr. Kassar to train the junior project manager. And then during the 3 month notice, he has to train him as the senior guy, he has to assist him. And even after that, they ask him that you join the new company, like he joined the Mindshare Solutions, and then you have to come for 1 to 2 hours for whatever the timing suitable to you to advise him. So to handle the problems or to deal the problems about the project, until in couple of months the junior project manager got comfortable with the project as a standalone project manager. Then they said to Mr. Kassar Abbas, thank you very much for your services. So in this way, the company managed the risk of leaving of the project manager. Similarly, the situation, I remember the case of NetSol Technologies. They have very famous product LeaseSoft, which they developed for BMW, Mercedes, Nissan, Yamaha, and they have an architect which was working with them from 1996. And in 2008, he got HSMP visa, highly skilled migration program visa. So he resigned, and there was 3 months notice. So company asked him, instead you leave. We have UK office, like company, NetSol companies operating in UK, USA, Australia, Taiwan, Korea, India, as well as in Pakistan. So it's their head office is in America. So they ask him, we transfer you from Pakistani office to UK office. In this way, they manage the risk and they retain him. So that's reactive strategy in case team member or project manager or senior team members are leaving. Proactive strategy to deal with the leaving team members, like NetSol Technology, another example, they have continuous switching problem because they have less salaries. So the junior or fresh candidates, fresh graduates, they joined the NetSol because of the brand name, because it's a top level company, and because of experience of working with NetSol. After that, they got better designations, better salaries in other companies. So they have this problem, NetSol company has this problem, that there was continuous switching. To avoid this problem, to manage this problem, they started the training institute. So there is a parallel hiring cycle. So the best candidate from those training courses, they hired them, and there is a switching cycle and there is a hiring cycle. They manage the leaving of the team members. They handle the problem of leaving team members. So as soon as a member resigned, project manager tried to avoid the reactive strategy, but in parallel he started proactive strategy and he started hiring cycle. So in case if he try to resign again, so you have the suitable candidate, and during the training period, during the resignation period, he can train him and he can be synchronized with the existing team. Start hiring cycle, even you have cross-functional team. Record all meetings so the new team member can easily synchronize with the existing team. So in this way, you have proactive strategy to deal with the leaving team members' risk. Reactive strategy to deal with the large team size. There were 800 team members in a Swedish company, and there was productivity issue. So Alistair Cockburn, the agile coach, asked them to have 5 teams of 10 to 20 members with clear goals. So each team member has a lead. So team leads of team A, B, C, D, and E, for example, strong collaboration with each other, and in this way, in couple of months, productivity of the company increases, and they don't need 800 team members. So in this way, this is a reactive strategy for large teams. Then you have proactive strategy for large teams. Divide the large teams into multiple small teams, like Yahoo company, Microsoft is also following the same using a Scrum. Eliminate the waste principle of lean methodology to remove extra team members. Use sprint retrospective continuously to optimize your team. There is example of 350 team size in a company due to architectural dependencies. So Alistair Cockburn, again agile coach, asked them to design a new architecture to remove the dependencies so the team members are independent. In this way, they don't need 350 team size. Proactive strategy to deal with large team size. Another example, there is a system, it's called semi-automated ground environment system SAGE. Completed in early 1960s, it was revolution for USA air defense to integrate the radar technology and computer technology. So SAGE was developed using 100 team members, resulting in over budget and late in delivery. So project manager, after the smoke was fade, it was asked, what you want to change if you will redevelop the SAGE? He said, I will select 10% team size to rewrite it. So we don't need large teams. We need small teams with effective collaboration, coordination, communication. We can have productivity and we can have successful software development. Reactive strategy to deal with infrastructural resources risk. Use agile methodology to start payment cycle early. So because in couple of weeks you deliver the first release and payment cycle will start, so you can increase your resources. Proactive strategy to deal with the resources problem. Use incremental methodology to start the project with less team size, with less resources, and as payment cycle will come, you can improve your resources in terms of team size and infrastructural resources. Reactive strategy to deal with large size software. That's another risk because it will have the complexity. As the size will increase, complexity will increase. So code refactoring, continuously use code refactoring to avoid. So it's a reactive strategy. As there is a risk of the complexity, and due to that there is a difficulty in coding, difficulty in testing, difficulty in maintenance. So you do code refactoring to handle the risk and to optimize your code, to have the optimized algorithm, optimized code. Remove extra features and introduce only minimum marketable features to avoid failure, to avoid the risk, because it can fail your project, like the case of Microsoft Vista, or like the case of Symbian operating system of Nokia, or the Netscape communicator browser. Proactive strategy to deal with large size. Use preventive maintenance to remove unnecessary code. For example, for Microsoft Vista, Microsoft performed preventive maintenance and removed 20 to 30 million lines. The Vista size was 70 to 80 million lines of code, and Windows 7 was 40 to 50 million line of code. In this way, Microsoft performed preventive maintenance to improve the quality of the software, and Windows 7 was much stable and much successful than the Vista. And code restructuring. Improve your code without changing the design. It's a planned strategy. So continuously, because the requirements are changing and the programmer doesn't have time to do the documentation and to follow the template of the company, so the code is not standardized as per the previous code. So perform code restructuring to follow the template of the company, to follow the standards and follow the comments on coding, indentation of the coding. In this way, it's a planned strategy to deal with the large size, so easy to update, easy to upgrade. Because normally the programmers who wrote the code may leave the company, may switch the company. So the new team members can read the code and they can understand the code through the comments and through the standardization, and it's easy for them to have update or upgrade. Reactive strategy deal with the changing requirements. So changing requirements can also be a risk and it can fail the project. So if the customer suddenly change the requirements, ask the customer to increase the budget and the schedule. Like you are delivering release after 2 weeks, if customer change the requirement, ask him that instead of 2 weeks, I will take 3 weeks, and this is the extra cost and this is the extra time. Or show him the history of previous projects that previously we completed this project within this budget, within this schedule. Or ask him deliver the core functionalities within the budget and schedule and remaining features with extra schedule and extra cost. That is the reactive strategy if customer introduce new requirements to manage the risk. Proactive strategy. Use prototyping to have continuous feedback. So you can have clear cut requirements. Deliver often every demo or release to have continuous feedback. Face to face meeting to avoid ambiguity, unclearness. So you can have clear requirements and strong collaboration with the customer to have continuous feedback. So in this way you can manage the changing requirements risk. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum.